At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making it easier to grab already prepped fruits and veggies so you can have more time for the important things. For us, making sure we provide you with fresh produce at low prices is our priority, so you can rest easy knowing you're getting delicious triple-inspected produce that's fresh and affordable, no matter the season. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Head linesman, Brian Hyatt. Line judge is Ike Stearns. And our back judge tonight is Tyler Buckman. And now, please welcome to the field our visiting Park Hill South Panthers. And now let's welcome to the field your Lee Summit
Football season is officially back, and there is no better feeling in the world as we welcome you to Broncos Stadium on the campus of Lee Summit North High School for a Suburban Red Conference matchup to open up the 2026 season here between the Park Hill South Panthers and the 20th ranked Lee Summit North Broncos. Austin Eckert here with you tonight. Thanks for joining us right here on A10 Varsity. And like I said, no better feeling than this. And gave you all a moment or two to take in all the pregame sights and sounds, and you can obviously hear how excited the crowd is here tonight. Almost a sold-out crowd here at Broncos Stadium, but a really good showing here in Week 1. It's been a long 9 to 10 months, but we are finally back. Lee Summit North, they are ushering in a brand new era as they welcome in Damani Cross in his first year leading the Broncos, and he's had 20 years of coaching experience. Started his journey at the University of Missouri as a free safety. It was named second team All Big 8 defensive back, and then he was a linebacker coach at the University of Missouri from 1998 to 1999 before he went on over to Sam Houston to be their defensive backs coach. And then for 5 years, he was in Ames at Iowa State as their linebacker coach from 2001 to 2005. And then in 2006, he made the jump from college ball to NFL ball by working for the Buffalo Bills as an assistant coach. And then in 2011, he made a stop at Wisconsin as their safeties and special teams coach. And then in 2012, he was at KU as their linebacker coach. And then from 2013 to 2015, he was TCU's co-defensive coordinator and linebacker coach. And then for 2 years, he was back at the University of Missouri as their defensive coordinator under former head coach Barry Odom. And then from 2018 to 2020, he was the TCU's player of personnel director. And now he's here in Lee Summit leading the Broncos. Like I said, ushering in a brand new era. The Broncos return a lot of their starters from last season as they look to start their season off on a right note. However, for Park Hill South, they're looking to pull off a big road upset here this evening. And it's going to be a good one here. We'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. We'll be back here in just a moment. You're watching Park Hill South and Lee Summit North right here on A10varsity.com.
Look at you go. The one-trip grocery champ, snooze button resistor, master sock matcher. We know the daily grind can be tough, but amidst the hustle, we see you conquer it all. And at Scooters Coffee, we believe it's the little wins that deserve some big moments of joy. So go on, embrace that tiny triumph. You master parallel Parker you. Take that victory lap and savor the sweet taste of success. Scooters Coffee, you didn't just order it, you earned it.
Enjoy cold drinks and good times at Eddie's Tavern, located in the Northland on 45 Highway. Have a fun day and night until 1:30 a.m. with our dartboards, pool table, TVs, and outdoor patio. Plus, owner Nina's mom cooks up homemade specials on Thursdays. Find us on Facebook for live music, karaoke, and more. One of 810 Varsity's favorite hangouts, Eddie's Tavern.
Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco. Tacos, burritos, nachos, and bowls. Fresh frozen drinks, ice cold beer, and desserts. Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco.
Does it roll? Does it swing? Does it have a busted spring? If you call Door Systems, we have everything. That's 524-8535. Ask for me, Dory. That'll get you 10% off, you know. Hey, I'm no ding-dong. Call us. Don't forget the 816, silly. Ask for me, Dory.
Look at you go. The one-trip grocery champ, snooze button resistor, master sock matcher. We know the daily grind can be tough, but amidst the hustle, we see you conquer it all. And at Scooters Coffee, we believe it's the little wins that deserve some big moments of joy. So go on, embrace that tiny triumph. You master parallel Parker you. Take that victory lap and savor the sweet taste of success. Scooters Coffee, you didn't just order it, you earned it.
Welcome back to Broncos Stadium here at Lee Summit North High School as we're about just underway for kickoff here to open up the 2026 season. Park Hill South looking to pull off a big road upset this evening. Lee Summit North looking to start off the Demonte Cross era on a good note by going 1-0 here tonight. And as we compare both of these teams from last season, Park Hill South went 2-8 and 1-4 in conference play. Lee Summit North finished 6-5 with back-to-back losses to Lee Summit. Lost to them in the regular season on senior night, allowing the Tigers to score 37 unanswered points, and then met them again in the playoffs the week after and lost a heartbreaker 35-33. And of course the Tigers went on to win the Class 6A state title. But again, brand new head coach, Damani Cross. He was hired back on January the 8th. And there's been a lot of coaching changes lately here for Lee Summit North. However, Damani Cross will look to stabilize this football program and try to get it back to where it was. Obviously, they went through a rough season with all the coaching changes, but they were able to persevere and fight through all those adversities and picked up some really big wins last year, including a 20-17 road victory over Lee Summit West and a pair of others. But it appears Park Hill South will receive here to start off this first half. Lee Summit North will kick it away. But for Park Hill South, these are the players to look out for tonight. They returned their leading receiver, Jake Hensel, and last year he averaged 119 yards per game and also brought in 10 touchdowns. And be on the lookout as well for the junior running back, Emmett Lopez, who averaged 20.8 yards per game with 2 touchdowns. And their starting quarterback coming back for his senior year, Tyler Briggs. He was averaging 172.5 yards per game, threw for 15 touchdowns as well. And a key defensive player to look out for as well is Perry Nelson, one of the team captains for Park Hill South. But we are about to get underway again. Lee Summit North working from right to left. Park Hill South working from left to right. Panthers coming out in their all-white uniforms tonight. Lee Summit North in their black uniforms here at home. And this one will be returned and take it down hard at the 15. That was KJ Murray and Tyler Dinn on the tackle. And Park Hill South will start this drive at their own 15 after a 10-yard return. And again, we'll get our first look at the Park Hill South offense led by senior quarterback Tyler Briggs. Threw for 15 touchdowns and averaged nearly 173 yards per game in the air. First and 10 for the Panthers at their own 15. Briggs lining up in the pistol. He's going to send his far side receiver out in motion. Now 3 receivers to the near side. A handoff right up the middle, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And the tackle made by Caleb Green, one of the star players on the defensive side for Lee Summit North. He committed to Nebraska recently. He is coming into this year in his final season with the Broncos. So he gets the first tackle of the 2026 season. It's a loss of 1. It'll bring up 2nd and 11. Briggs is going to send Honchell in motion. Slant play out to the far side, and it's hauled in by Jackson Scott. They're going to mark him down at the 20. About a gain of 5, and tempo offense here from Park Hill South, trying to draw the defense offside, and I think they caught Lavelle Thornton jumping there. As, again, Briggs was just trying to hurry up the offense and try to draw the defense offside. That'll be an extra 5 yards for the Panther offense. And it's going to result in a first down. So a costly penalty here to open up this game here for Lee Summit North. Ball's on the left hash here on 1st and 10 after the offside penalty. 2 receivers out to the near side. Briggs in shotgun with the back line up to his left. A handoff right up the middle, nowhere to go. And applying the pressure was Zion Van, Nas Palmer, the defensive end, coming around to make that tackle for a loss of 2. Correction, a loss of 4. So another loss on the play here for the Panther offense. So they try to get out of their own territory here early on. Briggs is going to line up in the gun again with a back line up to his right this time. Second down and 14. Now 2 receivers out to the far side. Lone receiver to the near side. Briggs takes the snap. Throws it out to the far side. Incomplete. Over the head of his target, Jake Hensel. And it'll bring up third down. Lee Summit North looking to get an early stop and to try and build some momentum here early on. Again, the incomplete pass to Hensel brings up third and long. And a handoff to Jackson Scott that went absolutely nowhere on 1st and 10 after the offside penalty. Trips to the near side. Briggs in the gun with a back line up to his right again. 1 receiver out to the far side, a 4-receiver set. Broncos rushing 4. Pass is tipped in the air and incomplete. That should have been brought down by Nas Palmer. He also made the effort to tip that pass from Briggs. It's going to bring up 4th down. So the Bronco defense gets an early stop here at home. Again, looking to start off this new era under DeMonte Cross on the right note. And back deep to receive for Lee Summit North is Aaron McIntosh, standing back at his own 43, and we have whistles. And a penalty flag on the play.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12 men on the field.
And 12 men on the field for Lee Summit North. It'll remain 4th and long here for Park Hill South. Again, couldn't get anything going other than getting that offsides penalty. But after that, the defense for Lee Summit North responded with some stops. Aaron McIntosh standing back at his own 40. And a line drive kick. McIntosh will let this one bounce, and it will roll all the way down to the 34-yard line of Lee Summit North. So now we'll get our first look at the Lee Summit North offense. Last year, the Broncos were led by Stephen Thomas.
Broncos take over, 1st and 10.
And now we'll get our chance to see Dominic Tyler lead the offense for Lee Summit North here in week 1. So it's the Dominic Tyler show here in Lee Summit after Stephen Thomas put together a really good season for the Broncos last year in his senior year. It's a handoff up the middle here on 1st and 10. And not much going there for Bryce Thompson. Bryce Thompson, one of the top players returning for Lee Summit North, as he led in rushing yards per game with 106 and rushed for 4 touchdowns. It's only going to be a gain of 2 for Thompson. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. A 4-receiver set, 2 receivers out on both sides. Tyler looking to throw, screenplay out to the far side. It's complete to McIntosh, still on his feet, jukes around a defender, and he's going to get close to the 1st down marker as he is taken down at the 42. Either way, it'll bring up a 3rd and short situation for Lee Summit North as they look to continue their opening drive of the season. It'll be 3rd and 1, a 7-yard completion. And that's Dominic Tyler's first pass of the season. Complete out to Aaron McIntosh. Tyler's going to line up in the pistol. Handoff up the middle. And I don't think he got there. I think he's going to be stopped just short. And I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Again, that was Thompson on the carry. Nothing going there. It's going to bring up 4th and 2. It's a loss of 1. And Lee Summit North could potentially keep the offense out on the field. We'll see Carson Sokin in the game here for Lee Summit North. He was the backup quarterback for the Broncos last year. We got to see him play a little bit. towards the end of the season, but didn't get a whole lot of playing time. But now he's going to come in at quarterback here on 4th and 2. Sokin's really good in the air, and he's also good on the ground as well. We'll see if they call a designed quarterback run for Carson Sokin. And I think Lee Summit North was just trying to fool Park Hill South, and they were trying to get a pooch kick off, but there is laundry on the field. So we'll get the call here in just a moment. It's going to be a delay of game penalty, so that appears to be intentional here for Lee Summit North as they want to try and pin Park Hill South deep in their own territory. They failed to get past the 20-yard line on their opening drive. That'll be 4th and 6. Sokin's going to take 5 steps back, and he's just going to pooch kick this one away. And here's the one-step punt from Carson Sokin. Takes a Bronco bounce at the 25, rolls all the way down to the 13. Correction, the 14-yard line, but either way, a good punt there from Carson Sokin. Thought initially they were going to try and go for it on 4th and short, but Lee Summit North didn't want to take any chances early on, but we do have laundry on the field again. It's an unsportsmanlike penalty on Park Hill South. So that'll push the Panthers back a few yards. So not only do they pin the Panthers deep in their own territory, but they also have an unsportsmanlike penalty added onto it. So they're going to, we'll see where they mark the Panthers here. I think they're going to move the ball here in just a second. But again, returning for the Panthers is Tyler Briggs, leading the team in passing yards last season with 173 yards per game and threw for 15 touchdowns. As Park Hill South will be moved back to their own 7. Briggs looking to throw, and this one's tipped in the air, incomplete. A designed screenplay on the near side of the field, but nothing going there. And the incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down. But both of these teams are obviously in the Suburban Red Conference this season. Lee Summit North and Park Hill South are in the Suburban Red Conference, along with the other members: Liberty High School, North Kansas City, Oak Park, Park Hill, and Central High School out of St. Joseph. Briggs looking to throw on 2nd and 10. Nothing going there, incomplete. As he tried to connect with Jackson Scott on the out pattern. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. 6:50 left to go here in the first quarter. Still no score here between the Panthers and the Broncos. Briggs is going to line up in the gun here on 3rd and 10 with a back lined up to his right. Briggs looks to the sideline, looking to change up the call here on 3rd and 10. He'll send his receiver in motion out to the far side. 3rd and 10. Briggs looking to throw, fires over the middle, and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Jake Hensel. And it brings up 4th down once again. The Broncos get another stop. As again, we remain scoreless here halfway through the first quarter. And the Lee Summit North defense starting this game off well so far. McIntosh back deep to receive for Lee Summit North. Takes it right at the 38 and will return it out to the near side. He's at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and he is pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Not the greatest punt there, but it is a great return for Aaron McIntosh. And Lee Summit North is going to set up shop for 1st and goal on their 2nd drive of the ball game. The Broncos are in scoring position and have a chance to put up their first touchdown of the 2026 campaign. And for Lee Summit North, we saw Dominic Tyler step out onto the field to take the first snap, and he's back out there. We saw Carson Sokin come in for a pooch kick on 4th down. But Dominic Tyler's back in the game. He's in the gun here on 1st and 10. It's a handoff straight up the middle to Thompson. Nothing going there. It's going to be a loss of 1 for Thompson. And the Broncos haven't established a run game just yet. Park Hill South applying the pressure up front. And that's one of their biggest keys to winning this ball game, and pulling off a huge road upset is winning the battle up front. Tyler's going to hand it off to Thompson again, sweeping to the right side, and he's going to get it all the way up to the 9. And a gain of maybe 5 yards there for Thompson after he got stumped right at the line of scrimmage on the previous play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6. So now the Broncos just need to get all the way up to the 5-yard line to set up 1st and goal. Tyler in the gun again here on 3rd down. Thompson to his right. Handoff again to Thompson, right up the middle, sweeping to the left side this time, and he's going to get all the way up to the 7. So it brings up 4th and short. An interesting situation here for Lee Summit North. Do they elect to potentially kick a field goal here on 4th down, or they try to go for the touchdown here to start this game off with a bang? But I think the Broncos are going to maybe go for it here on 4th down, and they will. It's going to be 4th and 3 at the 8-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go. Actually, Sokin's going to come in and try to boot this one through the uprights. A short field goal attempt, and we have Laundry. Could this perhaps be a false start penalty or a delay game penalty? An illegal substitution penalty. It's going to push the Broncos back a few yards, but that's probably a blessing in disguise. So that way Sokin has a better angle on this field goal attempt. It'll be Dominic Tyler to hold here in just a moment. But the illegal substitution penalty will only push them back about 5 yards. Carson Sokin, the backup quarterback, coming out to attempt a 28-yard field goal attempt. Here's the snap, the hold. The kick is away, and it is no good. Wide to the left. And we are still scoreless here with 4:31 remaining in the first. So the Panthers get away with one there after failing to get pretty much out of their own end zone. And that punt return from McIntosh put them inside the 10. But the Broncos come away with no points. But for Park Hill South, coming off their 2-8 season last year, it's going to be important for them to start off this season on a good note. However, last year, they did get off to a good start with a win over at Grandview, winning that game 51-6. And their next win didn't come until senior night against Central High School out of St. Joe. This one's lobbed towards the far side, incomplete. Intended for Jake Hensel. But again, going back to Park Hill South really quick, they opened up the season with a 51-6 win at Grandview, and then defeated Central High School out of St. Joseph 28-14, winning one game at home and only one on the road. But Park Hill South obviously just looking to find some consistency and keep that going, of course, at least at the start of the season, so that way they have some momentum in the back half of it. Slant play over the middle, and this one's almost intercepted. That one was in and out of the hands of Hensel again. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. Correction, only 3rd and 10. I'm looking at the scoreboard, and it says 3rd and 20, but on the field it says 3rd and 10. So I was looking at two completely different places at once. But 3rd and 10 coming up here for Park Hill South. They've only gotten 1 first down so far, this being their 3rd drive of the game, and that was thanks to an offsides penalty. Can they find a way to keep the chains moving? 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, and we have a timeout on the field, and it's going to be called by the Panthers using their first of 3 timeouts here with 4:17 remaining in the first quarter. We'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. Still no score here between the Park Hill South Panthers and the Lee Summit North Broncos.
Look at you go, the one-trip grocery champ, snooze button resistor, master sock matcher. We know the daily grind can be tough, but amidst the hustle, we see you conquer it all. And at Scooters Coffee, we believe it's the little wins that deserve some big moments of joy. So go on, embrace that tiny triumph, you master parallel parker you. Take that victory lap and savor the sweet taste of success. Scooters Coffee, you didn't just order it, you earned it.
Third and 10. Briggs looking to throw. Screen play out to the near side, and nothing going there. Only a gain of maybe 4 yards as a swarm of Broncos were right there to take down Magnus Honchel. So for the 3rd time tonight, the Park Hill South Panthers will have to punt this football away. Aaron McIntosh had a really good return on the last punt from Park Hill South. He got all the way inside the 7, but the Broncos came away with 0 points. After a few runs, went for pretty much nothing for Thompson. And then Sokin's 28-yard field goal attempt was wide to the left. This one takes a bounce at the 48, and it'll take a Panther bounce inside the 30, and it will stop at the 26-yard line. So a decent punt there for Park Hill South. Lee Summit North will take the field for their 3rd drive of the game here in a moment. But just kind of recapping both drives for Lee Summit North. Obviously, it's the first game of the season, so there's not going to be a whole lot of momentum right out of the gate for both squads as they're trying to get a feel for the game. Obviously, you know, both of these teams haven't played a football game in nearly over a year, so it's going to take some time for them all throughout this contest to get acclimated again to the game competition. But Dominic Tyler leads the Broncos back out on the field for the 3rd drive of the game. Slant pattern out to the far side. It's complete for the first down. Take it down at the 44. That was Aaron McIntosh on the reception. As he picks up a gain of 16 yards. And the quick throw from Tyler to McIntosh gives Lee Summit North a first down here on their 3rd drive of the game here to open things up. Dominic Tyler in the gun with a back lined up to his left. 2 receivers split out on both sides. Tyler met, and the ball is out. The ball is out, and it's picked up by Park Hill South. Returned at the 10, at the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Park Hill South. A scoop and score for Micah Forrest. Dominic Tyler was met with some pressure immediately and lost the football. Micah Forrest was right there to pick it up and took it to the house. .2:55 to go in the first quarter, and Park Hill South with a scoop and score to take an early lead here up against the 28th ranked Lee Summit North Broncos. Extra point on the way, and it is good. A scoop and score for Micah Forrest. Makes it 7-0 Park Hill South over Lee Summit North. 2:55 remaining in the first quarter. We'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. You are watching Park Hill South and Lee Summit North right here on A10varsity.com.
Does it roll? Does it swing? Does it have a busted spring? If you call Door Systems, we have everything. That's 524-8535. Ask for me, Dory. That'll get you 10% off, you know. Hey, I'm no ding dong. Call us. Don't forget the 816, silly. Ask for me, Dory.
Enjoy cold drinks and good times at Eddie's Tavern, located in the Northland on 45 Highway. Have a fun day and night until 1:30 a.m. with our dartboards, pool table, TVs, and outdoor patio. Plus, owner Nina's mom cooks up homemade specials on Thursdays. Find us on Facebook for live music, karaoke, and more. One of 810 Varsity's favorite hangouts, Eddie's Tavern.
Park Hill South with an early 7-0 lead with 2:55 remaining in the first quarter. A scoop and score for Micah Forrest as the Park Hill South defense forced a fumble on Dominic Tyler, applying the pressure right away as this one goes deep out of the end zone for a touchback. And there's some extracurriculars going on at the 35-yard line. And there is laundry on the field, so we'll see a couple of unsportsmanlike penalties here in a moment. But there was just some extracurricular activity going on. Obviously, Lee Summit North not happy about that fumble return. But Park Hill South just trying to pull a big road upset here tonight. Lee Summit North coming into the preseason 810 varsity top 25 rankings at number 20. Here's the call. Well, there you have it. If you were able to hear the head official, Park Hill South has lost a player due to an unsportsmanlike penalty, as obviously he threw a punch in the middle of that process. It was hard to tell who it was. But one of the Park Hill South players just lost his control, and already we've got an ejection here in the first quarter. So we'll wait a couple of moments here before we get back underway. Lee Summit North is going to start their fourth drive of the game at their own 35 after the penalty. Again, not quite sure who got thrown out there for Park Hill South. We'll find out here in a little bit, and I'll get that figured out for you guys. Here's a handoff here on 1st and 10. It's a handoff to the left side. And pushed out of bounds near midfield. That's Bryce Thompson again. So he picks up a first down and a gain of about 13 yards. And he had a lot of open real estate in front of him. Took it near midfield. But Lee Summit North just trying to respond after giving up that scoop and score. Again, that was Micah Forrest for the touchdown for the Panthers. 2:47 to go in the first quarter. Tyler's going to line up in the pistol. Handoff again to Thompson, running to the right side, cuts up the middle. Gets past midfield and all the way up to the 48-yard line of the Panthers. They're going to give him a gain of 4 on that carry. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. And for Park Hill South, it looked like that was Micah Forrest coming up on the tackle. Again, the guy who got the scoop and score for the Panthers a moment ago to make it 7-0. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first. 2nd and 6. Tyler heaves one down towards the far sideline, incomplete. Trying to connect with Aaron McIntosh. And great coverage there by Kyle Roffling. And now to bring up 3rd down. You've seen Lee Summit North trying to start this ball game off with their run game and Bryce Thompson, and didn't start off as well in the first couple of drives, but they've established a good running game now, so they've been able to open up some running lanes for Thompson up at the line of scrimmage. But here's 3rd and 6. Dominic Tyler making his first start, taking over for Stephen Thomas. As he fakes the handoff, fires far side, complete, first down and more. Still on his feet, and he'll get dragged down at the 31. Brady Sibbing on the reception. So he picks up a gain of about 18 yards. And a big 3rd down conversion for the Broncos offense. And they will continue this drive. A little over a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Tyler in the pistol again on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, incomplete. As he tried to connect with Sam Levy. But Levy just couldn't turn his head back 5 seconds faster, but it'll bring up 2nd down. But a really beautiful night for football here in Lee Summit, Missouri. Temperatures in the lower 80s, high 70s. And we've seen glimpses of fall weather here in the past few days. Some chilly weather to open up some of these mornings. But we'll get one more month of this hot weather before we finally start to see some cool weather coming in. And this one, I think Tyler fumbled it, as I think the ball left his hand before he made that throwing motion forward. And if that's true, it's going to be a loss of maybe 6 yards. As the clock continues to tick, now under a minute to go in the first quarter. And it's going to be a fumble there. So Tyler just let go of that ball too quick. It's going to be a 15-yard loss. Excuse me. I thought it was way less than that. But a loss of 15 brings up 3rd and 26. Broncos are going to have to go through the air, and some miscommunication up front. Looks like it's going to be a false start penalty, so it's going to be 3rd and even longer now for the Broncos. It's going to be a false start penalty on Noah Stanfield. So now 3rd and 31. The Broncos are going to have to get all the way up to the 21-yard line for the first. 3 receivers sent, 2 receivers out to the far side, 1 to the near side. Tyler looking to throw. Has some time, rolls out to the right side, fires, complete! Right at the 31-yard line, but he is going to be 10 yards short of that first down marker. We'll see if Lee Summit North either decides to go for it or attempt another field goal here from Carson Sokin. We'll get an answer in just a brief second. It's going to be a gain of 15 on that pass play from Tyler. It'll be 4th and 11. And the Broncos are going to have to go back through the air. Unlikely will they go to the ground game here on 4th and long. 4 receivers sent. 2 split out wide on both sides. Tyler looking to throw, fires near side, incomplete. And the Broncos turn it over with 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Park Hill South with some impressive stuff here defensively. Again, they got that scoop and score a few minutes ago from Micah Forrest. So they applied the pressure on Tyler and forced him to fumble it, resulting in a scoop and score. But now Park Hill South will take over at their own 32 after the incomplete pass on 4th and 11. So we'll get one more play before the end of the first quarter here at Broncos Stadium. Briggs is going to line up in the gun with the back lined up to his left. Briggs looking to throw. He's going to keep it up the middle. Nowhere to go. Looked like Caleb Green got there to apply the pressure. And him and three other Bronco defenders were right there to make the tackle. But that will conclude the first quarter here at Broncos Stadium. 7-0, Park Hill South looking to pull off a big road upset here tonight. Lee Summit North just trying to find a groove offensively, but haven't been able to do so just yet. With that being said, we'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. We'll be back here in just a moment. You're watching Park Hill South and Lee Summit North right here on A10Varsity.com.
Does it roll? Does it swing? Does it have a busted spring? If you call Door Systems, we have everything. That's 524-8535. Ask for me, Dory. That'll get you 10% off, you know. Hey, I'm no ding dong. Call us. Don't forget the 816, silly. Ask for me, Dory.
Welcome back to Broncos Stadium as we open up the second quarter. Park Hill South with an early 7-0 lead thanks to a scoop and score from Micah Forrest. Here's a dump play out to the near side, and he is going to be swarmed down at the 36. As Briggs connected with Honchell for a gain of about 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 6. Ball is on the left hash. Panthers going tempo. And I think they just drew an offsides call, and there is flags on the field. They're going to give the encroachment penalty to Jacob Indum. So that'll be 5 extra yards here for Park Hill South. It'll be 3rd and short. Looking to get their second first down conversion of this ball game. 3rd and 2. Two tight ends lined up on the right-hand side of Briggs. 3rd and 2, looking to throw, and this one's almost intercepted. Almost taken out of the air by Elias Addy. And that could have easily been a pick 6 for Lee Summit North. But they get the stop on 3rd and short. We'll see what Park Hill South decides to do here. You never know. But I think they will boot the football away for the 4th time tonight. And they will send the offense off the field. So Lee Summit North will get the ball back here with 11:18 to go in the first half. Again, Micah Forrest with the scoop and score midway through the first quarter to make it 7-0. McIntosh standing deep at his own 29-yard line, as I think we have a timeout on the field. Park Hill South will use their second of 3 timeouts here with 11:18 to go in the second quarter. 7-0. Park Hill South leads it here over Lee Summit North. We'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. We'll be back on the air here in just a moment.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making it easier to grab already prepped fruits and veggies so you can have more time for the important things. For us, making sure we provide you with fresh produce at low prices is our priority, so you can rest easy knowing you're getting delicious triple-inspected produce that's fresh and affordable, no matter the season. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
And it's a fake punt. Can they get enough for the first? Yes, they can. First down and more. They fake the punt after the timeout, and that's what exactly they were discussing. And that's why they called that second timeout. They draw up a fake punt. And Honchell takes it all the way up to the 48-yard line for the first down. So, like I was saying, I didn't know if Park Hill South was going to attempt to go for it since it was a 4th and short situation, even though it was on their own side of the field. But Hohenschel on the fake punt gets the Panthers all the way up to their own 48. Looking to get past midfield. First and 10, pressure's coming, and down he goes. There's the first sack of the ball game for the Lee Summit North defense. And it looked like Nas Palmer was able to apply the pressure and take down Briggs. It's going to be a loss of 7. 2nd and 17. 3 receivers set, 2 out to the near side, 1 out to the far side. Briggs in the gun with Hohenschel to his left. He's going to hand it off to Hohenschel up the middle, and he's only going to get a gain of maybe 2 yards. So now 3rd and 15 for Park Hill South, as they're going to have to get all the way up to the 42-yard line of Lee Summit North for the first down. Just under 10 minutes to go in this first half. Still a 7-0 score line, as Park Hill South took the lead midway through the first quarter with a scoop and score thanks to Micah Forrest. 3rd and 15. Same formation as the previous play. Briggs looking to throw, met with some pressure, and this one's intercepted at midfield. Taken back at the 30, to the 20, to the 10. He is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lee Summit North. It's Caleb Green on the pick 6. A 42-yard interception return, and now both teams have a defensive touchdown here to open up the 2026 season. So they finally get their restitution after giving up that fumble and scoop and score. And now Lee Summit North with an opportunity to tie this game up at 7 apiece. Snap is good, kick is away, and it is good. We are tied at 7 apiece, thanks to the 42-yard interception return from Caleb Green, the commit to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. We're tied at 7 apiece with 9:20 to go in the first half. You are watching Park Hill South and Lee Summit North right here on ATivarsity.com.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making it easier to grab already prepped fruits and veggies so you can have more time for the important things. For us, making sure we provide you with fresh produce at low prices is our priority, so you can rest easy knowing you're getting delicious triple-inspected produce that's fresh and affordable, no matter the season. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco. Tacos, burritos, nachos, and bowls. Fresh frozen drinks, ice cold beer, and desserts. Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco.
Welcome back to Broncos Stadium at Lee Summit North High School, as Caleb Green took it to the house with a pick 6 a moment ago. So now both teams have their own defensive touchdown tonight, and that's how they open up their 2026 campaigns. But Briggs was met with maybe a 4-man rush on that play, and then Caleb Green was right there, right place, right time, and had a lot of open room in front of him and took it to the house. 9:18 to go in the second quarter. And we'll see if Park Hill South can respond after giving up that interception return. Again, a scoop and score from Micah Forrest midway through the first quarter. And now here early on in the second quarter, it's a 42-yard pick six for the Nebraska commit, Caleb Green. Handoff play to the left side, nothing going there. It's going to be a loss of 2. Three receivers set here on 2nd and long. Briggs looking to the sideline, possibly changing up the play here on 2nd and long. In the gun with the back lined up to his left. Briggs drops back, looking to throw, fires near side, and in and out of the hands of Jake Hensel, and it's incomplete. And I think we have a flag on the field. Will this be defensive pass interference? We'll find out here in a moment. As all three officials are meeting with each other right around the 22-yard line before they make their official ruling. We'll get word here in just a moment.
Personal foul. Hit on the defenseless player. Number 4 defense. It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
So it's a personal foul penalty and not a defensive pass interference penalty for Lee Summit North. So we'll see where they spot the Panthers after the penalty. I think they'll give them an additional 5 yards. So they're just trying to figure out where to spot the ball after the penalty. And they'll move Park Hill South all the way up to the 27. It'll be 1st and 10 after the personal foul penalty. See what Park Hill South does on this drive after giving up that pick six. 3 receivers set, 2 out to the far side, 1 to the near side. Briggs in the gun with Hochschild to his right. Briggs looking to throw again on 1st down and fires over the middle. It's complete. And down right around the 1st down marker. That one was complete to Jackson Scott. And the Panthers are going to hurry up here on 1st and 10. 10-yard completion from Briggs to Jackson Scott. Panthers looking to change it up here on 1st and 10. Briggs in the gun again with Hochschild to his right. Slant play out to the far side, incomplete. Intended for Jackson Scott. That was good coverage by Logan Mayfield, one of the star returning defensive players for Lee Summit North. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. Still tied here at 7 apiece. Both teams have a defensive score this evening. Handoff to Hochschild up the middle, nothing going there. And I think he might have gotten back all the way up to the line of scrimmage. That could have easily been a loss of 3, maybe 4 yards. But no gain there from Hochschild. And now 3rd down once again for Park Hill South as they look to try and continue to move the chains. Lee Summit North looking to get another stop. 42-yard pick six on the previous drive from Caleb Green. 3rd down and 10. Briggs looking to throw, rolls out to the right side, and he's trying to evade a defender. He's still on his feet, and he is taken down in the backfield at the 31-yard line. A loss of 8. So the Broncos get another stop on third down, and they force Park Hill South to punt it away for the 5th time tonight. And there were 5 Broncos right on top of Briggs. Again, he was trying to escape one defender that got his right leg, and then he finally got away from that defender. But then 5 Broncos were right there to meet Briggs in the backfield for a loss of 8. And here's the punt. It's a high booming punt. It's going to be taken on the return by McIntosh. He's past midfield. He's to the 40. Cuts back inside to the 30. He's up the middle of the field. What's the real estate in front of him? He's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Lee Summit North. A 53-yard punt return for Aaron McIntosh, and Lee Summit North takes the lead with 6:25 to go in the first half. We do have a flag on the field, so hold your breath here for just a moment. Oh no, it's a blind side block on Lee Summit North, so the touchdown is going to be taken off the board. But Lee Summit North will get the ball back here with 6:25 to go in the first half. Again, could have been a 53-yard punt return for McIntosh, but the blind side penalty takes the touchdown off the board. So we're still tied here at 7 apiece. And the sun here in Lee Summit, Missouri, starting to come down. The stadium lights turning on, and the weather is starting to cool down just a little bit. But it is a beautiful night for football. And like I said to open up this broadcast, there's no better feeling than the start of the football season. And it's good to be back. But it's been an interesting ball game so far. Both teams with a defensive touchdown so far. Both defenses showing some flashes. But both offenses just trying to find their groove, find their rhythm, and that is hard to do in game one. But Carson Sokin's going to come on for the first snap here on this next drive. There is a flag on the field, but there is a handoff to the left side and nothing going there. Again, we do have a flag on the play. And that was thrown right as soon as Sokin took the snap. It's an illegal formation penalty, and we have a Lee Summit North Bronco player down at the 35. So we'll go ahead and step aside as we have an injury timeout on the field here with 6:20 remaining. We're tied at 7 apiece here between Park Hill South and Lee Summit North. We'll be right back.
Enjoy cold drinks and good times at Eddie's Tavern, located in the Northland on 45 Highway. Have a fun day and night until 1:30 a.m. with our dartboards, pool table, TVs, and outdoor patio. Plus, owner Nina's mom cooks up homemade specials on Thursdays. Find us on Facebook for live music, karaoke, and more. One of 810 Varsity's favorite hangouts, Eddie's Tavern.
Look at you go. The one-trip grocery champ, snooze button resistor, master sock matcher. We know the daily grind can be tough, but amidst the hustle, we see you conquer it all. And at Scooters Coffee, we believe it's the little wins that deserve some big moments of joy. So go on, embrace that tiny triumph. You master parallel parker you. Take that victory lap and savor the sweet taste of success. Scooters Coffee, you didn't just order it, you earned it.
We welcome you back to Broncos Stadium. 6:20 remaining here in the second quarters. We're still tied at 7 apiece. We had an injured Bronco on the field, and that is Brady Sibbing. And I think he tweaked his ankle and had to go down so that way he could get some help from the trainers, as he is currently being helped off the field at this current moment. So they're going to wait for Sibbing to come off before we resume play. Carson Sokin still out there at quarterback. He took the first snap of the fifth drive of the game for Lee Summit North a second ago, but again, Brady Sibbing went down with likely an ankle injury. He was grabbing onto his leg for a moment, but it appeared to be an ankle tweak, but hopefully he's okay. And Thompson's going to be met in the backfield for a loss of 1. It's going to be 3rd and long here for Lee Summit North, as we're now halfway through the second quarter. Again, Park Hill South got on the board first with a scoop and score from Micah Forrest, and then Caleb Green took it to the house on a 42-yard pick six. With about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Correction, it'll be 2nd and 15. 3 receivers set. Sokin in the gun with a back line up to his right, and that is Thompson. And here he is on the carry straight ahead. And he's going to fight his way to the 39. Or maybe perhaps the 38.5-yard line. So we'll bring up 3rd and 11 here for Lee Summit North. As again, they're trying to start off the 2026 campaign on a good note as they usher in a brand new era with head coach Damani Cross. And head coach Justin Pony is leading the Park Hill South Panthers for the 4th season. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Sokin's going to line up in the pistol formation here on 3rd and 11. Sokin fakes the handoff, rolls right, fires complete at the 40. He's past midfield, and he will be taken down at the 46-yard line of Park Hill South. And the Broncos are now in Panther territory. And that will be enough to move the chains. As he finds the freshman, the junior Lincoln Steckman on the reception. It'll bring up 1st and 10 as they're now in Park Hill South territory. Again, Dominic Tyler kept on the sideline here on this drive, so Sokin's in the game at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Thompson, running left. He's got some room all the way up to the 20, to the far sideline, to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Lee Summit North. Bryce Thompson on the 46-yard scamper gives the Broncos the lead here with 4:09 to go in the second quarter. After that 53-yard punt return from Aaron McIntosh got taken away thanks to a blindside penalty. It is a 46-yard run and score for Bryce Thompson, and that is his first rushing touchdown of the 2026 campaign. And he averaged 106 yards per game last season for the Broncos, returning as the team's leading rusher, making an impact right away as he gives the Broncos the 13-7 lead. Here comes the extra point on the way from Carson Sokin as Lee Summit North makes a late substitution, and they get the snap before they got everybody set. So that's going to move Lee Summit North back a couple of yards. It's going to be a false start penalty, so it won't be an illegal substitution penalty. That's what I initially thought. But Lee Summit North has finally taken the lead here over Park Hill South after a rather slow start in the first quarter. They found their rhythm early on in the second quarter, and now it seems like they have found their groove. Here's the extra points on the way from Sokin, and it is up and good. 14-7, Lee Summit North leads here at home over Park Hill South. We'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. You are watching Park Hill South and Lee Summit North right here on A10Varsity.com.
Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco.
We welcome you back to Broncos Stadium as Lee Summit North takes the lead here with 4:09 to go in the second quarter. As they lead at 14-7. This one will be returned to the near side. He's up to the 28-yard line. A good return there from Magnus Honchell. But it was a 46-yard touchdown run from Bryce Thompson to give the Broncos the 14-7 lead. And Park Hill South will step back out onto the field after giving up that pick six and failing to get out of their own territory. 4:02 remaining in the first half as we have a flag on the field and whistles are being blown. Clock stops here with 4 minutes. This might be a pre-snap penalty, and if it is, it'll likely be a false start here for Park Hill South. And going back to what I was saying earlier about this being the first game and this being potentially a slow start for both teams, obviously they're trying to get a feel for who they are and what they're all about. And, you know, there's unfortunately going to be some penalties along the way, especially early on. So a lot that both teams can build off of going into the next few weeks. But obviously the first game, it always comes with miscues and some penalties and miscommunication. But after the false start penalty, it brings up 1st and 15. Briggs looking to throw, slant pattern over the middle, complete, I think. Are they going to give him the catch? Yes, they will. And we have an injured Lee Summit North Bronco. As we'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. 3:45 to go in the second quarter as we step aside for a brief injury timeout.
Look at you go, the one-trip grocery champ, snooze button resistor, master sock matcher. We know the daily grind can be tough, but amidst the hustle, we see you conquer it all. And at Scooters Coffee, we believe it's the little wins that deserve some big moments of joy. So go on, embrace that tiny triumph. You master parallel parker you. Take that victory lap and savor the sweet taste of success. Scooters Coffee, you didn't just order it, you earned it.
Welcome back to Broncos Stadium here at Lee Summit North High School. 3:45 remaining here in the first half as Lee Summit North leads 14-7. And again, we do have an injury on the field at the current moment as a injured Lee Summit North Bronco is being attended to at the current moment. Could be cramps. It is pretty hot outside. So, unfortunately, we're going to see that from time to time. And the playing surface that these players are playing on tonight, you know, it's 20 degrees hotter than what the actual temperature is outside. So that's something that everyone's got to get adjusted to. Again, going back to it being the first game, you know, these are just the kinds of things that both teams have got to deal with. But hopefully he's okay as we resume play. 2nd down and 6. Briggs looking to throw over the middle, incomplete. As Briggs tried to connect with Sammy Mason. It'll bring up 3rd down. 3:28 remaining in the second quarter. Lee Summit North has finally taken the lead thanks to that 46-yard touchdown run. See if the Panthers have an answer here on 3rd and 6. 3 receivers set, 2 split out wide to the near side. Ball's on the right hash at the 34. Briggs takes the snap, looking to throw, has some time in the backfield. Now he's met with some pressure, rolls out to the left side, fires, and incomplete. Or are they going to give him the catch? And they will. And that was hauled in by Sammy Mason. as he makes the toe grab near the 47-yard line, it looks like. And it won't be enough for Park Hill South first down, and now the Panthers are in Bronco territory. Oh boy, what a catch there by Mason, the junior wide receiver. Briggs had some time in the pocket and then obviously was met with some pressure, rolled out to the near side and got that throw off to Mason with an incredible grab on the near side. 1st and 10 here for Park Hill South. Briggs looking to throw again, met with some pressure immediately on the 3-man rush. Now he's going to throw one over the middle and incomplete. As this time Briggs trying to connect.
Briggs' pass incomplete across the middle, intended for Aiden.
Aiden Fanprint on the intended end of that catch. Got a little confused there, obviously. This is the first game, so there's always some switch-ups we've got to deal with as far as jersey numbers are concerned. But we do have a timeout on the field here with 3:10 to go. 14-7, Lee Summit North leads. And it appears the Broncos have taken their first of 3 timeouts. Again, 3:10 remaining in the second quarter. 14-7 is our score. You're watching Park Hill South and Lee Summit North right here on A10Varsity.com.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making it easier to grab already prepped fruits and veggies so you can have more time for the important things. For us, making sure we provide you with fresh produce at low prices is our priority, so you can rest easy knowing you're getting delicious triple-inspected produce that's fresh and affordable, no matter the season. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Welcome back to Bronco Stadium at Lee Summit North High School. 2nd down and 11. At the Bronco 47, Briggs looking to throw. Broncos rushing 3 as he rolls out to the far side. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to keep it on his feet. He's all the way up to the 40, and as he cartwheels over 2 defenders and is taken down at the 39. It's going to be just about 3 yards shy of that first down marker. It's a gain of 9 for Briggs. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Do they go to the ground game or do they go through the air on 3rd and short? We'll find out. It's been a mixture of both for Park Hill South so far in this contest. Under 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Lee Summit North with a 14-7 advantage. 3rd and 2. Handoff to Honchell up the middle and fumble. Ball comes out and it's picked up by Lee Summit North. And a costly turnover for Park Hill South. An opportunity for them to tie this ball game up at 14-all. They fumble it on 3rd and 2. The ball comes out of Honchell's hands and it's recovered by the Lee Summit North defense. And now Lee Summit North with an opportunity to add more points onto the scoreboard before we end the first half. We saw Carson Sokin out there at quarterback on the last drive. We'll see if they go with him again. But we saw Dominic Tyler out there for the first few snaps of the ball game. But Sokin remains on the field. 2 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the first half. And Sokin draws the Park Hill South defense offside. And that would be 5 free extra yards. So it'll be 1st and 5 coming up in a moment as they'll mark Lee Summit North at their own 40. It was a slow start to this ball game, but then both teams got a pair of defensive touchdowns, a fumble return from Micah Forrest to make it 7-0 Park Hill South. And then early on in the second quarter with about 10 minutes to go, Caleb Green took it to the house on a 42-yard pick 6 handoff to the left side here on 1st and 5. And only a gain of 4. And then Lee Summit North was able to get a stop defensively after getting that pick 6 return. Aaron McIntosh took it to the house on a 53-yard punt return, but it was called back due to a blindside block. And with some room to run here on 2nd and short, he's down to the 20, to the 15, and he is taken out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Kenzo Hawkerson on the carry picks up about 40 yards and puts Lee Summit North in the red zone here with a little over a minute and a half to go in the first half. There was a wide open lane, and Hawkerson took advantage and got all the way up to the 10-yard line. It's going to set up 1st and goal for the Lee Summit North offense. This will be their 2nd trip inside the red zone. The last time they were in the red zone, they missed a 28-yard field goal attempt. Here's Sokin as he rolls out, fires into the end zone, incomplete. But again, last time they got in the red zone, Aaron McIntosh on the punt return got it inside the 7 on the other side of the field, and then they were met with some stops by the Park Hill South defense as the Broncos were trying to establish an early running game, but then Sokin missed that 28-yard field goal attempt to keep the score deadlocked at 0 apiece. And now it is 14-7 here with 1:31 to go in the 2nd quarter. Sokin will line up in the gun with the back lined up to his right. 2 receivers split out wide to the far side. 2nd and goal. Handoff to Hawkerson up the middle, weaving his way through defenders. He's going to get inside the 5, and they will mark him down at the 3. Kenzo Hawkerson with that 40-plus yard run about 2 plays ago put the Broncos at the 10, and now it's going to be 3rd and goal at the 4. Broncos need to get in the end zone. 1 minute exactly remaining in the 2nd quarter. A 14-7 lead for Lee Summit North at home. Third and goal, handoff to Hawkerson again, fighting through his way through a spew of Panthers. And he's going to be marked down maybe at around the 2. And if so, it'll be just a gain of 1. So now 4th and goal. Only a yard to get themselves in the end zone. We'll see if they decide to go for it. The clock stops here with 42.4 seconds. Now the clock continues. I was confused why the clock stopped since it was a run play on the previous play. But the Broncos will try to chew away as much of this clock as they can before they get this 4th and goal play off, unless they decide to call a timeout maybe, and then go for that 4th and goal play. They will call a timeout here with 17.2 seconds. They will use their 2nd of 3 timeouts as Lee Summit North looks to extend their lead going into halftime. 14-7, Lee Summit North leads here over Park Hill South. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Enjoy cold drinks and good times at Eddie's Tavern, located in the Northland on 45 Highway. Have a fun day and night until 1:30 a.m. with our dartboards, pool table, TVs, and outdoor patio. Plus, owner Nina's mom cooks up homemade specials on Thursdays. Find us on Facebook for live music, karaoke, and more. One of 810 Varsity's favorite hangouts, Eddie's Tavern.
Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco. Tacos, burritos, nachos, and bowls. Fresh frozen drinks, ice cold beer, and desserts. Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco.
"17 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter as Lee Summit North elects to go for it here on 4th and goal at the 1. And some more whistles here before the snap. And I think Park Hill South has also elected to take a timeout. So another timeout on the field as the clock stops here with 17.2 seconds. Again, a 14-7 scoreline. Lee Summit North finding their rhythm here in the second quarter after a slow first quarter start. Park Hill South will talk things over defensively. We'll go ahead and step aside for another brief commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment. It'll be 4th and goal at the 1 for Lee Summit North when we come back.
Does it roll? Does it swing? Does it have a busted spring? If you call Door Systems, we have everything. That's 524-8535. Ask for me, Dory. That'll get you 10% off, you know. Hey, I'm no ding-dong. Call us. Don't forget the 816, silly. Ask for me, Dory.
Welcome back to Broncos Stadium after the timeout from Park Hill South. It is 4th and goal at the 1 for the Broncos. Soaking in the gun. Will take it right up the middle, fighting at the goal line, and is he in? I don't think he is. The far side official says he is down just short of the goal line. And they're going to give the touchdown to Carson Sokin. He keeps it himself on 4th and goal and gets into the end zone to extend the lead for Lee Summit North. The far side official said he was short of the goal line, and then the near side official comes up to separate the pile and rules that Sokin was indeed in. And now he'll come on to tack on the extra point. So Sokin takes over for the sophomore quarterback Dominic Tyler here in the second quarter, and he has brought some light and energy, and this extra point is blocked. So the extra point is blocked, and the score will stay here at 20-7. It is a 13-point lead for the Broncos. And on 4th and goal at the 1, it is Carson Sokin on the quarterback keeper. We'll go ahead and step aside for another brief commercial break. We'll be back here in just a moment. 11 seconds to go in the first half. 20-7, Lee Summit North leads here over Park Hill South.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making it easier to grab already prepped fruits and veggies so you can have more time for the important things. For us, making sure we provide you with fresh produce at low prices is our priority, so you can rest easy knowing you're getting delicious, triple-inspected produce that's fresh and affordable, no matter the season. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Welcome back to Broncos Stadium here at Lee Summit North High School as Lee Summit North extends their lead to 13 as they lead at 20-17. Carson Sokin took it in on 4th and goal at the 1 on the quarterback keeper, but then his extra point was blocked. So that is why Lee Summit North holds a 13-point advantage. Lee Summit North will start the second half with the ball. And they have given themselves some momentum going into halftime. This kickoff is going to be returned inside the 5, and it will be brought out to the 10, and he is swarmed by a sea of Broncos right around the 12.
Sokin's kick to the 1. Pins the Panthers deep. Honeshell's return after 12.
Honeshell on the return, just nothing going for him. Great coverage by Lee Summit North. As we have about 5 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And I assume Park Hill South will just take a knee and we'll go into halftime with a 13-point lead for Lee Summit North. Again, they came into the 2026 campaign being ranked at number 20 in the preseason top 25 A10 varsity rankings. So Briggs will take one final snap here in the first half. and will kneel it down at the 8, and that's how this first half will end. We go into halftime here at Broncos Stadium. Lee Summit North leads 20-7. It was a pair of defensive touchdowns for both sides, and then Lee Summit North has been able to create some separation from the Panthers. As Park Hill South, their main objective is to come in here tonight and looking to spoil the first game in the new era under Damani Cross. Park Hill South took an early 7-0 lead on that fumble return for Micah Forrest, and then Caleb Green tied the game up with a 42-yard pick six with about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, and then a 46-yard scamper for Bryce Thompson, and then Carson Sokin took it in on the quarterback keeper on 4th and goal at the 1 just before the end of the half. Well, we have about a 15-minute intermission period, so for those of you watching at home, feel free to step aside, do whatever you need to do, but we'll be back on the air here in about 15 minutes for the start of the second half. Lee Summit North leads 20-7 here at home over Park Hill South in tonight's Week 1 Suburban Red Conference matchup.
taco, tiki taco.
Enjoy cold drinks and good times at Eddie's Tavern, located in the Northland on 45 Highway. Have a fun day and night until 1:30 a.m. with our dartboards, pool table, TVs, and outdoor patio. Plus, owner Nina's mom cooks up homemade specials on Thursdays. Find us on Facebook for live music, karaoke, and more. One of 810 Varsity's favorite hangouts, Eddie's Tavern.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making it easier to grab already prepped fruits and veggies so you can have more time for the important things. For us, making sure we provide you with fresh produce at low prices is our priority, so you can rest easy knowing you're getting delicious, triple-inspected produce that's fresh and affordable, no matter the season. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Look at you go. The one-trip grocery champ, snooze button resistor, master sock matcher. We know the daily grind can be tough, but amidst the hustle, we see you conquer it all. And at Scooters Coffee, we believe it's the little wins that deserve some big moments of joy. So go on, embrace that tiny triumph. You master parallel parker you. Take that victory lap and savor the sweet taste of success. Scooters Coffee, you didn't just order it, you earned it.
Hello, and we welcome you back to our live coverage of Park Hill South and Lee Summit North right here on 810varsity.com. My name's Austin Eckert. It's my pleasure to be on the call for this one tonight. And as I said to open up the broadcast, it is great to have football back. Obviously, there will be some college football on TV tomorrow featuring that game in Dublin between TCU and North Carolina. And I know some of you watching this right now are big college football fans. Week 0 starts tomorrow. There were some FCS games going on, I believe, tonight and yesterday night. So I guess technically college football season is already underway. But, man, it is good to be back up here in the broadcast booth calling a football game. It's been a long 9 to 10 months, and sometimes the off season can go by fast or it can go by slow depending on how excited you are for football season going into the next year. So it felt kind of long, but I'm just extremely grateful to be back calling football, and obviously this is the first week for both of these squads, and we've talked a little bit about both teams. Obviously, Lee Summit North ushering in a new era with Damani Cross leading the charge for the Broncos. After all the coaching changes they had to go through last year, playing with an interim head coach, Deron Washington, for about 70% of the season. And they picked up a share of big wins before they ran into the eventual state champions about 10 minutes away from here, Lee Summit High. And they started last season 0-4. They started last season 0-4, and they won 5 straight, including back-to-back wins over Lee Summit North. And somehow, some way, the Tigers went on to win the Class 6A state championship in Columbia. But for Lee Summit North, obviously, they remember what happened last year, and they're trying to channel in all of that motivation and energy as they try to start off the 2026 campaign on the right foot here at home. They got off to a slow start. Things got started midway through the first quarter with a scoop and score by way of Micah Forrest to give Park Hill South that 7-0 lead. And then with about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, Lee Summit North got on the board and also got their restitution for that fumble return thanks to a 42-yard pick six from the Nebraska commit, Caleb Green. And then following that, Lee Summit North, they took the lead for a moment after that 53-yard punt return from Aaron McIntosh that got eventually called back for a blindside block in the process of that punt return, but they were able to find a way to punch it in on a 46-yard touchdown run from Bryce Thompson, their leading rusher from last season, going into his final year with the Broncos. And then Carson Sokin, just before the end of the first half, took it in on the quarterback run on 4th and goal at the 1. And a situation where the far side official ruled him just short of the goal line, and then the near side official separated the pile and determined that Sokin was in for the score. And then that extra point got blocked as well. So that's why Lee Summit North holds that 13-point advantage. We're about to get underway for the start of the second half. Park Hill South will kick it away since they received the start of the ball game. But Lee Summit North with all the momentum on their side at this current moment. Park Hill South will have to find a way to get something going offensively. It is a short kick. It'll be fielded at the 32. It'll be taken all the way up to the 44-yard line. So I think Park Hill South wanted to try and fool Lee Summit North on that short kick, but they're going to start the second half with excellent field position. We saw Carson Sokin again come in at quarterback in the second half in place for the sophomore Dominic Tyler, who got the start. And it was going to be interesting to see who was going to lead the Broncos on the field to start the 2026 season. Obviously, moving on from Stephen Thomas last year, had a pretty good showing in his senior year, but they're going to stick with Carson Sokin, so he's going to get the start here in the second half. He's going to line up in the pistol here on 1st and 10. It's a handoff to Bryce Thompson as he runs it to the right side, and he's going to get all the way up to the 46 for a gain of 2. And a swarm of Panthers were right there, right on Thompson, and making that tackle was both Micah Forrest, and along with him was Kavon Plowman. A 2-yard carry for Bryce Thompson. He got in the end zone early to give the Broncos the lead midway through the second quarter with that 46-yard touchdown run. Sokin's going to motion McIntosh, and he's going to keep it to the right side, and he's going to get all the way up to maybe the 49-yard line, but it'll be another gain of 2, this time for Carson Sokin. It'll be 3rd and 8 coming up for the Broncos. It'll be 3rd and 6, correction. And a couple of substitutions here for the Broncos offense. They have found their rhythm, and they found it in the second quarter after getting off to a slow start. Dominic Tyler got the start at quarterback, but it's been Carson Sokin for about almost a full quarter here in this contest. 3rd and 6. Sokin rolls out to the left side, fires, complete, enough for the first down, and dragged down at the 41. And the Broncos move the chains.
Sokin rolls to his left.
Park Hill South trying to find that energy that they had defensively early on in this contest, trying to find it back. They just got to get a stop or two to really feel good about getting themselves back in this one. 2 receivers lined up to the far side on 1st and 10. It's a handoff right up the middle for Thompson, and he'll get tackled at the 39. It'll be a gain of 3. And I would imagine Lee Summit North here in the second half with their 13-point lead, they want to chew away as much of this clock as possible. And if they can find a way to punch it into the end zone on their opening drive of the second half, they'll create just about enough separation to try and put this ball game away. And of course, Park Hill South looking to pull off a major road upset here tonight. Thompson right up the middle, and he almost broke free, and he will get tackled right around the 23-yard line. It will be enough for another Broncos first down. And Thompson almost broke free for 6. The gain of about 13 for Thompson on second down, and it'll bring up 1st and 10. Again, it just seems like the Broncos are trying to chew away as much of the clock as they can, and that's obviously going to be their main objective here in the second half. Of course, starting with possession after deciding to start the first half on defense and got that first stop. Another handoff up the middle with some room to run. Spins away from a defender, but he'll get taken down inside the 10. And they will mark Thompson down at the 7. And the Broncos are in the red zone for the 3rd time tonight. It'll be 1st and goal for the Broncos and only 7 yards to go before they punch it into the end zone. Just over 8 minutes to go in the 3rd. Lee Summit North looking to extend their lead at home, up by 13. 3 receivers set. Sokin's going to line up in the pistol. Another handoff here on 1st and 10, right up the middle, fighting his way through a sea of defenders. Does he get across the goal line? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Lee Summit North. Bryce Thompson finds the end zone for the 2nd time tonight, this time from 7 yards out. He has a 46-yard touchdown run and another from 7 yards out. So now Sokin will look to redeem himself with this next extra point attempt after the previous one got blocked just before the end of the first half. And Lee Summit North right out of the gate starts the second half with possession and punches it into the end zone thanks to Bryce Thompson from 7 yards out. The extra point is up and good. 26-7, the Broncos lead by 20 here over Park Hill South. We'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. 7:57 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making it easier to grab already prepped fruits and veggies so you can have more time for the important things. For us, making sure we provide you with fresh produce at low prices is our priority, so you can rest easy knowing you're getting delicious, triple-inspected produce that's fresh and affordable, no matter the season. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco. Tacos, burritos, nachos, and bowls. Fresh frozen drinks, ice cold beer, and desserts. Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco.
Welcome back to Broncos Stadium as Bryce Thompson punches it in from 7 yards out on 1st and goal to extend the lead to 20 for the Lee Summit North Broncos. And Lee Summit North has turned the game on its head after they found their rhythm in the 2nd quarter. And the momentum has stayed on their side since. So we'll see Park Hill South take the field for the first time in the second half here in just a moment. Tyler Briggs was met with some pressure all throughout the first half. Was able to get some throws off, but really good defensive effort from the Broncos so far. And right now they're winning the battle up front. We'll see how many the Broncos will rush here on 1st and 10. 4 receivers sent. Briggs looking to throw, met with some pressure immediately, rolls out to the right side, and he will be taken down in the backfield. Taken down at the 16 for a loss of 8. That is the second sack of the night for the Lee Summit North defense.
Blessington up the middle for a quarterback sack.
And Washington comes up with the sack, and now we'll bring up 2nd and long, 2nd and 18. Just over 7 minutes to go, a 4-receiver set again. This time trips out to the near side. Briggs in the gun with Honchell to his left. Briggs fires, far side, incomplete.
Briggs' pass falls
That was intended for Aiden Famprey.
18.
And it'll bring up 3rd and long. You know, the Panthers just really haven't gotten anything going offensively. They've only gotten 2 first-down conversions so far all throughout this contest, and they also got another one in their opening drive thanks to an encroachment penalty on 3rd and short. 3 receivers set this time, 2 out to the far side. Briggs met with some pressure again, and down he goes behind the 10-yard line. It'll be 4th and long, but hang on just a moment. We do have a flag on the play.
We do have a flag down on the play.
So we'll see what the call is here in just a moment, but it appears this is going to be on Park Hill South, and they will have to punt the football back to the Broncos.
Number 64. That penalty is declined. Result the play. 4th down.
And the Broncos decline the penalty. It'll be 4th and 24, and the Panthers have no choice but to boot this football back to the Broncos. Aaron McIntosh standing back at the Park Hill South 40. This one is a high kick. McIntosh calls for the fair catch. And fair catches it at the 42. So Lee Summit North begins their next drive in Park Hill South territory. After that 42-yard punt. 6:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Lee Summit North with an opportunity here midway through the 3rd quarter, but to potentially ice this game, as again, all the momentum has been on their side since the midway point of the 2nd quarter. Obviously, it got started with that 42-yard interception return from Caleb Green, the Nebraska commit. So now Dominic Tyler will come back out onto the field for the Broncos, as he is lined up in the pistol here on 1st and 10. He's going to send Micah Neal in motion. It's a handoff right up the middle. Only a gain of maybe 2. This time it was Kenzo Hawkerson on the carry. We saw Hawkerson earlier in the contest have that 40-yard run to set up shop for the Broncos in the red zone.
Dominic Tyler back in at quarterback for the Broncos.
So now 2nd and 9, they're going to give a gain of 1 to Hawkerson. Under 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Lee Summit North trying to put this game away as early as possible. Up by 20, Hawkerson again on the carry, right up the middle, and he is going to go nowhere. He might get a gain of 1. They will mark him down at the 40.
Gain about 2 on the carry by Hawkerson.
It'll bring up 3rd and 9 here for Lee Summit North.
Broncos at the Panthers 40.
But Lee Summit North, just looking ahead at their schedule this season, they're going to be headed to the state of Nebraska next week to take on Millard South. And that'll be an interesting ball game. I mean, early on in the season, they are going to travel across state lines to take on Millard South on the 4th. Tyler looking to throw on 3rd down. Fires near side, complete. Taken down at the 34. He's going to be just about 2 yards shy of that 1st down marker.
Connects with Lincoln Steckman.
As Tyler connects with Lincoln Steckman.
Broncos at the Panthers 35.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it will bring up 4th down and 3. We'll see what the Broncos decide to do here on 4th and short. They're in Park Hill South territory. Outside of field goal range for Carson Sokin. But it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th and short. 4th down and 3. Ball is spotted on the right hash. 3 receivers set, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Tyler trying to draw the Park Hill South defense offside, and there is Laundry. A late flag thrown by the far side official. Or rather, the field umpire.
He's called the first charge timeout of the half.
And I think Lee Summit North has taken their first timeout of the second half. They used their first of 3 timeouts here with 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They lead it 27-7. They will talk things over, but when we come back, it'll be 4th down and 3 for Lee Summit North at the Park Hill South 35-yard line.
Tiki taco, tiki taco. Tacos, burritos, nachos and bowls. Fresh frozen drinks, ice cold beer and desserts. Tiki taco, tiki taco.
4th and 3. The Broncos elect to go for it. Tyler will line up in the pistol. Handoff to Hawkerson up the middle. And he is going to be close to the first down marker. Are they going to give it to him? I don't think they will. I think Hawkerson might have been stopped short unless they keep the chains going, and they will. I initially thought that they marked him short of that first down marker, but it's going to be a gain of 4 for the sophomore running back. And the drive continues here for Lee Summit North, this being their second drive of the second half. Got into the end zone thanks to a 7-yard touchdown run from Bryce Thompson. 1st and 10. Another handoff here to Hawkerson, running to the left side, and nowhere to go. He is taken down behind the line of scrimmage, but they are going to give him a gain of 2 as he gets all the way up to the 30.
Gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Broncos at the Panthers 30.
Broncos playing the time of possession game, trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Park Hill South. Trying to eat away as much of the clock here in the second half as possible to try and cushion their 20-point lead, to try and extend it here, obviously, on this drive as well. Tyler in the pistol here on 2nd and 8. Another handoff to Hawkerson, running to the right side this time, breaks a tackle. He is down the far near sideline, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds near the 15. And that might be enough for a first down, and it will be. Another first down run for Hawkerson, and he keeps the drive going here for Lee Summit North. The run game has been pretty good for the majority of this contest for Lee Summit North. It's been Kenzo Hawkerson and Bryce Thompson leading the charge in the run game. But Dominic Tyler and Carson Sokin, both quarterbacks, they are dual threats, and they can hurt you through the air and through the ground as well, but we haven't seen a lot of quarterback run game from Tyler. But another handoff here to Hawkerson as he gets only a gain of 2. And now under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And a beautiful night for football here in Lee Summit. Temperatures at kickoff were just in the lower 80s. And now we're in the mid-70s, maybe lower 70s, with a little breeze as well, so that's much appreciated, obviously, late in August. So we have about maybe 1 month more of this hot and humid weather here in the Midwest before we finally get that football weather that everyone's craving for. And by that, I'm talking 50 to 60 degree weather with a little breeze. You know, weather that's good enough for you to either wear short sleeves or sweats and not feel a difference. But there is a flag on the play. It'll be against Lee Summit North, so that'll push them back an extra 5 yards. And the pre-snap penalty will make it 2nd and 13. Clock stops here with 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
With 5-yard penalty. We now have 2nd and 13 Broncos at the Panthers 20.
But again, Dominic Tyler got the start at quarterback tonight, and then Carson Sokin took over and really got things going for the Lee Summit North offense. But it was the defense that got it started for Lee Summit North after giving up that scoop and score. Again, Caleb Green with a 42-yard interception returned with about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter to tie it up at 7 apiece. And then that big 46-yard touchdown run from Bryce Thompson gave the Broncos the lead, and they have not looked back since. A minute and a half to go now in the third. It'll be 3rd and 14 coming up for the Broncos. Two receivers out to the far side, one to the near side. Tyler looking to throw, rolls out to the far side. He's got some room in front of him. He's going to take off, and he will be pushed out of bounds just short of that first down marker at the 18. And he'll be about 6 yards shy of that first down marker. And Carson Sokin's going to come on to attempt this field goal attempt. He missed a 28-yard field goal attempt early in the ball game that could have given a 3-0 lead for Lee Summit North. .109 to go in the third. Lee Summit North looking to tack on 3. Here's the snap, high snap, and the kick is blocked. The kick is blocked. Who comes away with the football? It's going to be Park Hill South. It doesn't matter. Another kick blocked. That's the second one tonight. There was an extra point blocked just before the end of the first half. And now their second field goal attempt of the evening is also blocked here with 1:01 to go in the third. So that's obviously something that Park Hill South can build off of. And that'll give them a little bit of confidence, but they don't have much time left in this contest as they're down by 20. They're going to have to make up for all the damage that the Lee Summit North offense has done to this defense for Park Hill South. See if Briggs can get something going here for this offense. And here's a quick pass play to Magnus Honschel. And it's only going to be a gain of maybe 2. A lot of wide receiver screens and short passing play from this Park Hill South offense. They really haven't gotten a whole lot going, and their lone touchdown came from that scoop and score from Micah Forrest. Oh, almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Imon Donaldson almost came away with another potential pick six, but he bats that pass down from Briggs to bring up 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 11, and the Panthers are going to have to get all the way up to their own 45 for the first. Clock stops here with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Park Hill South, they have got to find a way to get in the end zone if they want to have any chance of creating some sort of a miraculous comeback. Briggs met with some pressure, and down he goes. That is the 4th sack of the evening for the Lee Summit North defense, and it comes on 3rd and 11. And now I think Park Hill South will have to boot this football away, and they will. But I think they'll do that to open up the fourth quarter as we have about 5 seconds remaining. They'll let the clock roll all the way down to triple zeros. It is a 20-point lead for Lee Summit North, and they haven't looked back since the midway point of the second quarter, and things got started with that 42-yard pick six from Caleb Green after they gave up that scoop and score midway through the first quarter. It is a 27-7 lead for the Lee Summit North Broncos. We'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Park Hill South and Lee Summit North right here on a10varsity.com. We'll be right back.
Enjoy cold drinks and good times at Eddie's Tavern, located in the Northland on 45 Highway. Have a fun day and night until 1:30 a.m. with our dartboards, pool table, TVs, and outdoor patio. Plus, owner Nina's mom cooks up homemade specials on Thursdays. Find us on Facebook for live music, karaoke, and more. One of 810 Varsity's favorite hangouts, Eddie's Tavern.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices.
We welcome you back to Broncos Stadium here at Lee Summit North High School as we open up the fourth quarter. Aaron McIntosh calls for the fair catch, and the Broncos will start their third drive of the second half at their own 48-yard line. A 25-yard punt. And Lee Summit North looking to put the icing on the cake here to start off the 2026 campaign. And obviously they're starting off a new era under first-year head coach Damani Cross with 20 years of coaching experience both at the collegiate and the professional level. Former Mizzou free safety and former Mizzou coach as well. He coached for 1 year as the linebacker coach from 1998 to 1999 and was the defensive coordinator for the Tigers under former head coach Barry Odom. He's looking to come in and bring some stability to this Lee Summit North football program. And they're off to the start that they would hoped for so far. But we do have one more quarter of football to play, and you never know what could happen, especially in the first week. And the pre-snap penalty will push back the Broncos 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 15. They're going to have to get all the way up to the Park Hill South 42 for the first. Carson Sokin is back in at quarterback. He's going to line up in the pistol. 3 receivers set, 1 to the near side, 2 out to the far side. Bryce Thompson lining up in the backfield, and we have more laundry on the field. Could this perhaps be another pre-snap penalty on Lee Summit North? It'll be a delay of game penalty. So another 5-yard penalty tacked on for the Broncos. It'll bring up 1st and 20. Obviously not how they wanted to start this next drive off. Back-to-back pre-snap penalties. And things like that are going to happen in the first game. So obviously that'll be things that both teams will need to work on. And some miscommunication, and Thompson is taken down deep in the backfield, taken down at the 31-yard line. It'll be 2nd and even longer now after the loss. They are backed up at their own 32, and they're going to have to get all the way up to Park Hill South's 42 for the first down. It's a loss of only 1, so I thought it was way worse than that, but luckily for Lee Summit North, correction, it's a 6-yard loss. So it is a big loss on that play. Another handoff to Thompson, and he is taken down hard near the 35-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 33. Back-to-back pre-snap penalties, miscommunication on the snap and the handle from Carson Sokin to Bryce Thompson has backed up the Broncos. Back at the their own, 34-yard line. 3rd and 24 coming up. Sokin drops back to pass, looking to throw, looks downfield. He's going to take it himself. Cuts it up the middle. He's going to get all the way up to midfield for a gain of about maybe 16 yards. He'll be short of that first down marker. Again, the Broncos needed to get all the way up to the 42-yard line of Park Hill South for the first. But I think the Broncos will give this football back to Park Hill South. Again, not much time left on the clock. And as I said earlier, to open up the second half, Lee Summit North trying to chew away as much of the clock as they can to keep them feeling comfortable in their home opener. And Sokin with one step will boot this one away. It's a line drive kick. It'll take a Bronco bounce inside the 5, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. So Park Hill South will begin this next drive at their own 20. The Lee Summit North defense has been showing out tonight with 4 sacks. Caleb Green with the 42-yard interception return to tie it up at 7 apiece, and that's what really opened things up for Lee Summit North. But we just haven't seen a whole lot from this Park Hill South offense. But if they could put together a scoring drive and maybe get a stop, that'll give them enough momentum to put themselves in a position to come back. But again, not much time left on the clock with only 9:38 to go in this contest, and we have flags on the field right before the snap. And it looks like it's going to be a false start penalty.
False start. It's number 61. Favor penalty, still first down. Favor penalty makes it first and 15 Panthers. At their own 15.
So the false start penalty pushes back Park Hill South to their own 15. 3 receivers set. Briggs lining up in the gun with Honchell to his right. Play action. Briggs looking to throw, met with some pressure. Down he goes inside the 5. The 5th sack of the evening for the Lee Summit North defense. And Briggs in the backfield has just been beat up all night long. The Broncos defense winning the battle up front here tonight. Park Hill South was doing the same to open up this ball game, and obviously had some momentum with that scoop and score from Micah Forrest. But since then, they haven't had anything going for them. It's been all Lee Summit North since that 42-yard pick six by Caleb Green. Hand off to Honchell to the left side. Nothing going there. He is going to be stopped at the 3. And that will be a loss of maybe 2. 8.5 minutes to go. 3rd and long coming up for Park Hill South. They're going to have to get all the way up to the 30-yard line for the first. They are backed up deep in their own end zone. Briggs is going to have to go through the air here on 3rd and long. So he tries to draw the defense offside. He did that early on in the first quarter, which was their first down conversion of the whole contest. 3 receivers split out wide to the near side. Briggs looking to throw, backed up in his own end zone. He gets out of there, and down he goes at the 5 for a gain of 2. But the Panthers will boot this one away, and that might about do it here for Park Hill South. Again, just not their best night offensively. Briggs has been beat up all night long, and the Lee Summit North defense just getting after that front line of Park Hill South. A high booming punt. Aaron McIntosh will make the fair catch at the 40. So the Broncos will start their next drive with, again, excellent field position. But here tonight, for the home fans, it is a blackout theme. All the students are wearing black tonight. Obviously, I've got my black polo on as well. I had no idea it was going to be a blackout here tonight, but that is the theme for this season opener, and almost a sold-out crowd here on hand. But football's back, and there's absolutely no better feeling in the world. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Park Hill South 40. Handoff, a loss of 1 there, as Hawkerson gets the call. Dominic Tyler back in the game at quarterback. As Lee Summit North, they've been switching from Dominic Tyler and Carson Sokin all night long. Carson Sokin last year was the team's backup quarterback to Stephen Thomas. And he got some time late in the season in some garbage time moments and was able to get some snaps at the end of that Lee Summit game last year, where the Tigers came in and scored 37 unanswered points after going down 16-0. I was talking about them a little bit earlier. They started their season 0-4 and then won 5 straight, went into the playoffs, and won the Class 6A state title. A team that nobody thought would be able to go all the way, especially after their first 4 games. But that was without a doubt one of the craziest football games I've ever called. And I was talking a little bit about how Lee Summit North coming into this season, obviously they remember how last season ended, and they're just trying to channel all of that energy and motivation to do well this year. And this one's almost intercepted as this pass falls incomplete, nearly picked off there by Perry Nelson. Just under 6 minutes to go. It'll be 4th down here for Lee Summit North. We'll see what they decide to do here on 4th and 7. Because they are in Park Hill South territory, and they do lead it by 20. I think they have to feel good about going for it, because defensively they've been showing out here tonight. Not a whole lot of answers from Park Hill South. It's a handoff to Hawkerson and nowhere to go. He is going to be met immediately at the line of scrimmage, and it will be a turnover on downs. But the defense for Lee Summit North has been playing their part, keeping the Park Hill South Panther offense out of the end zone, with their only touchdown coming early in the first quarter, midway through the first quarter, with that scoop and score from Michael Forrest. But Lee Summit North, they have had responses here for Park Hill South, and I think they got a little fired up after that scoop and score. It's been all Broncos since. Quick slant play over the middle. It's caught at the 44. And Park Hill South's going to go quick. They know that they don't have a whole lot of time left. They got to find a way to punch it into the end zone. Briggs looking to throw on 2nd and 4. Lobs one over the middle, and it is picked off! The second interception thrown by Briggs. And that might just about do it. 5:19 remaining. And right after they gave the ball back to Park Hill South, Briggs throws one into double coverage, and it is intercepted at the 32-yard line. Tyler Briggs with 2 interceptions tonight. One that resulted in 6, and one that potentially put this game to bed. Dominic Tyler back in the game at quarterback. Handoff up the middle. And did the football come out? Did the football come out? I think Lee Summit North fell on top of it. But we do have an injured Panther on the field near the 35-yard line. So we'll go ahead and step aside for a brief commercial break. We'll be back here in just a moment. 5 minutes to go, 27-7. Lee Summit North leads over Park Hill South.
Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco. Tacos, burritos, nachos, and bowls. Fresh frozen drinks, ice cold beer, and desserts. Tiki Taco, Tiki Taco.
Welcome back to Broncos Stadium here at Lee Summit North as we have injury timeout on the field, and that appears to be Kavon Plowman, as I think he was dealing with some cramps, and he's being helped off the field here with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There have been a couple of instances where some of these players have had to deal with cramps, and I was talking earlier about how the playing surface is 20 degrees hotter since they're playing on turf. And especially here in these first couple of weeks, things like that are going to happen, and both teams are just trying to get acclimated to the game competition and those things, this being their first game of the season. But we resume play here with 2nd and 12 here for Lee Summit North. Handoff to the left side and nowhere to go. Take it down at the 25. Not much running room there for Kingston Phillips. Just over 4 minutes to go. It is 3rd and 17. And the Broncos using as much time on the clock as they possibly can. 15 seconds left on the play clock, and they'll try to wind this clock all the way down near 3:45 before the next snap. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Taylor's got to get this snap off quick, and he does with 1 second. And another handoff to the left side, and only a gain of maybe 3. So it'll bring up 4th down.
Short down. 4th and 17 Broncos. At around 20 seconds.
And Lee Summit North will boot the football away here in a moment. But not enough time left on the clock for Park Hill South to put together some sort of comeback. They just haven't had any answers for this Lee Summit North defense with 5 sacks tonight and 2 interceptions. And another pre-snap penalty. It'll push the Broncos back an extra 5 yards.
Offense number 19. Federal penalty remains 4th down.
And Sam Levy just took off right before that snap was taken. And you can see Carson Sokin out there, obviously very upset. And these pre-snap penalties that both teams have been committing tonight, it's just going to happen in the first game. And definitely something that both teams will work on going into next week. Lee Summit North, they have a huge road contest coming up against Millard South over in Nebraska. So this punt will take a bounce, and it'll be out of bounds at around the 35. And I think they'll mark it down at the Park Hill South 37. But again, coming up for the Broncos, it is Millard South on the road next Friday. And then they will have a short road visit on over to Lee Summit West. They took down the Titans at their place last year, 20-17. in a come-from-behind victory before they return home on the 18th against Lee Summit High. So I was talking about their back-to-back losses to Lee Summit last year, and that's definitely a game that Lee Summit North has circled on the calendar, but obviously the Broncos are going to take the season one game at a time, and of course they don't want to get ahead as far as the standings are concerned. And I was hearing a little bit from Damani Cross from some of his comments earlier in the season, about a month ago, just before the season started, and heard him talking about the team taking it one game at a time and staying focused and not getting ahead of themselves. So they've got back-to-back road contests at Millard South and Lee Summit West after tonight before they return home in 3 weeks against Lee Summit High. So they'll have back-to-back rivalry games. And then just looking ahead at the rest of their schedule, we do have a timeout on the field, but we'll stay on the air here with 2:07 to go in the fourth quarter. After their crosstown showdown against Lee Summit High here in about 3 weeks, they will travel to Oak Park on the 25th, and then they will return home after that against St. Joe Central on October 2nd. And then their final 3 games of the season will be at North Kansas City, senior night against Liberty on October the 16th, and they will end their season at Park Hill for the season finale. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they will head back home next week to take on Grandview, who had a big 51-6 win last season to open up the 2025 campaign, but then they lost 7 straight after that. And a quick screenplay over to Honeshell here on 3rd and 8, and he is going to get close to the first down marker. So we're under 2 minutes to go in this contest. But Park Hill South will play host to Grandview next week, and then they will have their rivalry game at Park Hill after that. And then looking ahead at the rest of their schedule, they will take on Liberty on the 18th. We'll travel to St. Joseph to take on Central High School on the 25th. Slant play over the middle. That is hauled in by the returning leading receiver for Park Hill South. That is Jake Hensel. So again, they will play St. Joe Central on the road on the 25th, and then their final 4 games of the season, they will play host to Oak Park on October the 2nd. At Raytown the week after that, senior night, they will take on North Kansas City, and they will also end their season on the road at Fort Osage. Quick throw over to the far side. It is hauled in at the 36. As we have about a minute remaining in this contest, Lee Summit North, they were awfully conservative all throughout the second half, trying to chew away as much of the clock as possible, and did a pretty good job of doing so. So Lee Summit North will start off the Damani Cross era with a home victory. And again, they will take on Millard South next week on the road, and there is the 6th sack of the ball game, as Briggs is taken down at the 49. And we might get one more play before we end this contest. Again, a big season opening win for Lee Summit North here over Park Hill South, while the Panthers got off to a hot start and got that scoop and score from Micah Forrest. They just haven't been able to respond to the blows that this Lee Summit North defense has been putting on them all throughout this contest. Briggs has been taken down 6 times tonight and has tossed for 2 interceptions, 1 resulting in 6, with that 42-yard interception return from Caleb Green. But again, the Suburban Red Conference, its members are Lee Summit North and Park Hill South, obviously, but also in that conference, they also have Liberty, North Kansas City, Oak Park, Park Hill, and St. Joe Central. And this might be the last play of the ball game. Briggs will fire one to the far side of the field, and it is batted down and complete. So we'll get one more play here with 6.3 seconds to go. So obviously a lot that Park Hill South will need to work on to prepare for their home opener against Grandview next week, in which they had that big 51-6 win on the road last season to open up the 2025 campaign before they unfortunately ran into 7 straight losses before finding that second win against St. Joe Central at home on senior night. So obviously Park Hill South will look to get back on a good foot against Grandview next week. Lee Summit North will travel to Millard South for a huge road contest. And Neal will be taken, and that will conclude the contest here at Lee Summit North High School as the Broncos open up the Demonte Cross era with a victory. They win it 27-7. An exciting first half and a second half that featured a lot of defense and a lot of conservative play from the Broncos, chewing away a lot of the clock in the second half thanks to their efforts on the ground from Bryce Thompson, Kenzo Hawkerson, and Kingston Phillips. Carson Sokin came into the ball game for Dominic Tyler in the second quarter and really provided that boost that the Lee Summit North offense needed. But for Park Hill South, ever since that scoop and score from Micah Forrest, they were unable to respond to Lee Summit North. Well, that's going to wrap it up here in Lee Summit, Missouri. Again, the Broncos open the Demonte Cross era with a victory here at home. They win it 27-7 over Park Hill South. Lee Summit North came into the opening week as the 20th ranked team in the state, according to the A10 varsity rankings, and they will move up a few spots after this victory. But a big road test coming up at Millard South next week for the Broncos. And for Park Hill South, they will head back home to take on Grandview, in which they had that big opening victory over them last year on the road, and they'll look to do the same. Well, that's going to do it here in Lee Summit, Missouri. I'm Austin Eckert. On behalf of A10 Varsity, I want to thank all of you that chose to spend your Friday evening with us. We hope you all enjoyed the game, and we will see you all next time. Your final score here from Broncos Stadium, it is Lee Summit North 27, Park Hill South 7.